Hello again, and welcome to the programme.
In today's documentary, we find out about a charity called Anthony Nolan, which helps save lives by matching patients with stem cell donors, donantes de células madre.
We meet Fran, whose life was saved thanks to the help of others.
She received a bone marrow transplant, un trasplante de médula ósea, from an anonymous donor.
Let's hear her story.
I actually found out that I had leukemia on my second wedding anniversary, and I had this childhood dream that all I wanted in life was to marry someone completely wonderful and have 2 children and live happily ever after. And so to be told that I had leukemia was devastating. So I soon learned that in order to get through this, I needed to have a bone marrow transplant. I convinced myself that my one and only brother would come to my rescue and he would be my donor. But in actual fact, you have a 1 in 4 chance of a sibling match. And sadly, my brother wasn't a match. And so that devastated me even more. And so that's when I realised I needed an unrelated donor. And I was then introduced to Anthony Nolan.
Every 20 minutes, someone in the UK is told they have some form of blood cancer. For many, a bone marrow or blood stem cell transplant is the only chance of survival. Anthony Nolan is a charitable organisation that helps people like Fran by matching them with individuals willing to donate their blood stem cell. Without organisations like this, Fran wouldn't have survived. Simon Butler works for Anthony Nolan. He tells us about the services it offers.
At Anthony Nolan, we match potential stem cell donors to patients who are in need of a potentially life-saving transplant. We also conduct pioneering research to help improve the transplant outcomes, and we also offer help, support and guidance to transplant patients and their families.
He tells us how they go about matching patients with donors.
When a patient finds out that they are in need of a transplant, their doctor will ask us to find a potential donor. So we search registries in the UK and internationally to find someone who has the same genetic type.
Maggie Marshall has donated bone marrow. She tells us what happens when you decide to become a donor.
When I was 18, I started donating blood, so to go on the bone marrow register was a natural extension of that. It just seemed an important thing for me to do, to help out in any small way that I could.
Anthony Nolan has 550,000 registered donors.
Since 1974, when the charity was established, we have given over 13,000 people a chance at life. When it comes to matching donors, a lot of the difficulties that we experience come with the fact that there are tens of thousands of possible genetic types, and that makes it very difficult to find the best donor for a patient. Now, we're able to find a donor who is the best possible match for about 60% of patients. However, this lowers to 20% for patients from an ethnic minority background. So there is a real need to recruit more potential donors from Black, Asian and minority ethnic backgrounds to make sure that we can find a donor for every person who needs a transplant.
Finding a donor is often a patient's last chance of surviving. We ask Maggie what motivates people to go through such a difficult and painful process to help others.
It's an honour, really, to be told that you're a match for somebody and that you can help someone out. Also felt a huge sense of responsibility for that person because you know that they're really ill and they really need that help.
I do think all donors are the most incredible people to do what they do. Their generosity and kindness and pure unselfishness to do that, often to donate to a complete and utter stranger, is an amazing thing. And as a recipient of a bone marrow transplant unrelated donor, I have total admiration for them. I just think they are wonderful people. all of them.
It's wonderful that, thanks to all the donors, the Anthony Nolan charity has managed to save over 13,000 lives.
The donor they interviewed expressed very well what motivates her.
It's an honour, really, to be told that you're a match for somebody and that you can help someone out. Also felt a huge sense of responsibility for that person because you know that they're really ill and they really need that help.
She said it was an honour and a huge sense of responsibility.
Fran referred to the donor's generosity, kindness and unselfishness.
Perhaps we should consider becoming donors.
Yes, we should, though what they said they urgently need is more donors from ethnic minorities.
Now, let's find out what help exists for people in other countries. We asked our international friends, to what extent does your country have an infrastructure to help people in need?
There is an extensive social grant system in South Africa which benefits 30% of the population. At least 45% of all households do receive at least one of these grants. These grants can be disability grants, war veteran grants, old age grants, and foster care grants.
Australia has a very strong infrastructure that helps people who are unemployed, ill, disabled, or elderly.
I think there's a great infrastructure to help people in need in Canada, whether it's education, which is in top of the world, to welfare, to pension plans for older people. I think we have a great infrastructure.
India, as I said, like, it's a developing country, so there is infrastructure in place, and they love to sanction and help people out. Like if you say that they sanction 80% to look after the people in need, but because of the bureaucracy and the corruption existing, the only 30% is the thing which actually needs to the people in need. So that's where we fall short in kind of looking after people.
There's programs such as Medicaid and Medicare to care for the vulnerable, the elderly, the disabled, the poor. We have a social security network that you pay into throughout your whole working life. And I think we have a very strong group of charities and churches that help their own communities.
Well, everyone said that their country had some kind of welfare or benefit system to help those in need.
And, as the Americans said, there are also charities and church organisations which help their own communities.
But the man from India mentioned that a lot of the money goes in bureaucracy and corruption.
Now it's time to head back to Florida for another episode of That's the USA.
Today, Jodie's back in the Everglades, but this time she's there to find out about the plant and animal life.
The Everglades is a tropical wetland, humedal, which means much of it is swampland, ciénegas.
And this makes it an ideal habitat for birds of prey, such as hawks, falcons and eagles.
And also for reptiles like snakes, turtles and alligators.
Now, let's watch.
Hello and welcome back to the Big Cypress Seminole Indian Reservation here in the Florida Everglades. Today we're going to take a look at some of the nature and wildlife in this unique and diverse environment. The Everglades is a huge tropical wetland ecosystem that reaches from central Florida all the way south to Florida Bay. It consists of large areas of swampland. Billy's Swamp Safari is a park run by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Visitors can discover its fantastic attractions through various exploration and adventure activities. Airboats are one of the most popular modes of transportation here in the Florida Everglades. This is our driver and guide, Hans. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good, it certainly is pretty out here.
Yeah, beautiful.
Now, what types of unique plants thrive out here in the Everglades?
Well, many different plants, lots of aquatic plants, obviously. We have a lot of water out here, so many different grasses, lilies, many trees, hardwood trees, such as the cypress, the pawpaw.
As far as wildlife, what will we see out here?
We never know what we're going to see. It's always a little bit of a surprise, but certainly reptiles, turtles, alligators, of course, maybe even a snake, many different bird species, insects, you know, list goes on and on.
Sounds really exciting. And what are you doing to help preserve the Florida Everglades?
Well, make sure we keep it clean, make sure that we keep it watered, believe it or not. At the state level, you know, land's being bought in order to reflood many areas that were drained in the past.
Great. Well, I'm certainly excited to go on a ride. Shall we go?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Wow. The airboat has no parts below the waterline. This means it's perfect for navigating through swamps, shallow water, and marshland.
Next, Hans is going to show me some critters, or small animals.
Okay, this is known as a corn snake or a red rat snake. It's one of the most common snakes here in the Everglades. They kill by constriction.
Okay.
So they wrap around their prey and basically squeeze until the prey is suffocated.
And then they swallow him whole.
Swallow it whole, correct.
Wow, what kind of turtle is this?
Okay, right here we have a common snapping turtle.
Yes.
They have a very sharp jaw.
I see that.
It's a beak, actually, if you look at it.
Sure.
They're omnivores. They can eat all sorts of small animals. They can also scavenge. They're called snapping turtles for a reason. So here I've got 2 alligators. This one's about 2 years old, and this one's soon to be 1 year old.
So cute. Can I touch him?
Yeah. Just
Wow.
don't get too close to the head because they don't have teeth. And even at this size, they have 80 tiny, razor sharp teeth. Good boy, look at that.
Look at that. Alligators live in freshwater swamps and marshes. They are cold-blooded animals, so they rely on external sources of heat, like the sun, to regulate their body temperature. I'm here with Ray, a wildlife and bird expert. Ray, how common is the hawk or the bird of prey in Florida?
Well, we have a lot of different types. We have falcons, hawks, eagles. Nothing, any other bird represent the Everglades more than the hawk. In the wild, they're wonderful hunters, and they do prey in snakes, lizards, frogs, and sometimes fish.
Can I stroke her?
You can touch her right here,
Okay.
and just very soft and gentle, and she's probably not going to have any problem with that.
Well, I'm going to spend a little more time with my friends Ellen and Ray. So we'll see you next time in Tarpon Springs.
Well, Jody certainly got to experience the wildlife at first hand. Those alligators were huge.
Yes, and that snapping turtle was pretty fierce.
Oh, would you dare hold a corn snake?
Yes, they're not poisonous. They kill by constriction or suffocation.
How nice of them.
Well, the Everglades is certainly a unique environment. I hope they continue to protect it.
We'll see you next time on That's English.
See you.